23-10 to clinch the NFC North. And they move, like I said a little earlier, into that number 2 seed in the playoff picture. So massive win there for the Packers. I mean, this was huge. This wraps up Week 16 for us. There's only 1 week left. Everything is kind of coming into focus here. But
just a little bit.
In this game specifically, what were your takeaways just in terms of the Packers? They come out, they have 3 turnovers, and they still are able to get the win.
Well, for me, it's like all season, I was like, where's their signature win? Where's this signature win that we're looking for from the Packers? I think tonight was the night.
Oh, please don't tell me that.
Oh.
Tonight can't be the night.
Tonight was the night. 3 turnovers?
But the way that the Vikings played, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the way the Vikings played, I think is more, I still haven't quite seen all I need to see from Green Bay. Let's be real. The way we've seen all the rest of these teams in the NFC East, NFC East, the way we've seen all the rest of these teams in the NFC play, think about the 49ers, the Saints, even the Eagles, man. I'm thinking from a toughness standpoint, we haven't seen this toughness out of the Green Bay Packers football team.
He had 23 rushes for 158 yards.
They hit Minnesota in the mouth.
Right.
And that Minnesota run D was good, ranked 8th coming into this game, and they ran all over them.
All I'm saying is this. You won without Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
You won in spite of Aaron Rodgers throwing picks and fumbles and all those different things. Now I'm like, SpaghettiOs. Because Aaron Rodgers getting the playoffs, we all know what time it is when he get in the playoffs. He get hot. And so for me, it's like you can run the ball, you can play defense, special teams ain't really hurting you right now, and then you get AR hot with these little receivers running around. Now all of a sudden you got an offense that can put up points against anyone and score touchdowns, and then defensively you're shutting people down.
Yes.
You can close out games.
Devontae Adams had himself a night.
I don't understand how teams, look, if I'm going into a game and there's one receiver who catches more than 50 to 60% of the balls, I'm doubling him, coaches. Soon as he comes off the bus, I'm putting 2 dudes on him.
Always.
We'll figure out the rest. Devontae Adams is another one of those freaky athletes, just like Michael Thomas, Julio Jones. Like, dude, when they get off the bus, double them, coaches. I don't understand how you can leave Devontae Adams open time and time again or not travel your best corner with him because, look, 116 yards, Aaron Rodgers threw for 216. He has 13 receptions. Aaron Rodgers had 26 completions.
It was all
That's
him.
half of the production.
Right.
I am putting 2 dudes on him as soon as he gets off the bus, period. But, you talked about this Green Bay defense. They still haven't shown me enough. They're still a mediocre defense. They can't rush the passer.
Yeah.
Kenny Clark, Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith,
It looked
those
like they
dudes
stopped the
can
run tonight,
rush the
too.
passer.
Yeah.
They did stop the run tonight, but it's a lot easier to stop the party.
You're right.
And so come playoff time, it's going to be some teams with their number 1 backs, and they're going to come to run it at Green Bay because that's what they haven't consistently been able to stop.
True.
Well, I'll say this, that the Packers get an opportunity to play in Lambeau. And nobody want to go to Lambeau in January. Nobody want to go there, right? And so you may get the Saints who come up, who are used to being in the Dome, or Seattle, or let's say the Vikings have to come up, like whoever it may be. It could be the Eagles. Whoever it is, they have to come to you now. And
How
they have to deal
awful
with
is it to play there when it's
So
cold?
I've never played there when it's cold.
cold.
I played there when it's
You're
cold.
lucky.
Oh, no question,
Yeah, he's
Colleen.
super lucky.
Yeah,
Now, it's super cold because you want to come out of that locker room
wanna be
with no
tough.
sleeves on and you want to act cool, and then when you get out there, it's like, that's a different type of cold. And so then you're going back in, and then you're like, man, forget trying to look cool. So you're throwing sleeves on, and you're just not quite comfortable. And even fast guys, when it's cold outside, you're not quite as fast as you normally are. But slow guys, you get even twice as slow. And so that is definitely a home field advantage, especially knowing where you're going offensively.
And that's what I'm saying.
hated it.
Think about this. Now, you have a running game. Now, all of a sudden, you have a running back that can rush for 150. You have a defense that can help you out if you stumble. You got the weather and all the stuff that comes with going. Because here's the problem. Let me tell you about Lambeau. So where's our fans? Where's my single line? Let me tell the fans about Lambeau.
Bring it in.
Okay, now you don't have to come to stay there. First of all, you're going to stay in Appleton, Wisconsin. Okay, there may be one restaurant there.
Oh, yeah, it's one.
It's in the hotel.
It's one.
It's Shoeless. You stay in
Shoeless
one
Steakhouse.
hotel. Yeah, there you go. Okay? From there, you got to drive 30 to 40 minutes to the stadium. So you're just sitting there looking at cornfields the whole time, right? So I'm just trying to figure this thing out, trying to get in the mood.
Listen, the cheese curds, though, are fire.
Well, we
So
don't
you
even
have
get
that
access
going.
You don't
to
get
the
access
cheese
to that.
curds,
You don't get none of
Colleen.
that. You just sitting in the hotel.
Yep.
Okay? I'm watching tape. I'm trying to get right. But you also, we all have routines. And so D. Hall talks about going out there trying to be tough. Now I'm out of my routine because it's all about timing. So now I got to go back in, put stuff on, try this, warm up with it. it is tough to play in Lambeau. And I think that's what's so important about them. They're going to have to come to you. See, it's different if you're going to San Fran or you're going to Seattle.
Right.
Okay. It's
so
different.
It's tough to play there. It's also tough to play on Monday nights, especially for Kirk Cousins, because now he moves to 0-9 on Monday nights.
I feel so bad for Kirk. But can we honestly throw all the blame on Kirk Cousins here?
No.
But we're going to get it, though.
Yeah, he's going to definitely get the brunt of it. He got the brunt of the money, right? Yeah. So he's going to definitely get a brunt of the responsibility. But when you can't drop back in a 3-step drop or a quick 5 and get the ball out your hands without people being in your face, I mean, it was definitely tough to watch Kirk Cousins out here because, yes, he missed some throws, but sometimes he just didn't have the luxury to wait, to wait for that guy to come open. And, like I said, he'll always get this stigma of not being able to win the big ones, but it seems like that whole team doesn't necessarily come to show up. It was the same way when he was in Washington with me. Right. It wasn't necessarily always Kirk's fault, but it seemed like at some point through the course of that game, the snowball effect just always continually started happening. And he got.
As I said, they had a good plan. They made some plays, made it tough on us, and we just didn't get it done.
How do you feel about where you stand now? Sub 500 and hope they lose.
Frustrating. I've sat here after every game pretty much, win or loss, and said the good part about it is that we control our own destiny, and that's gone. That's out of our hands now, and that's unfortunate. It's very disappointing because we had the chance, right? We had the chance to control our destiny and be where we wanted to be. But now that it's out of our hands, we've got to control what we can control, and that's getting the win next week. Yeah, excuse me.
This was the.
Yeah, go ahead.
This was the first time you faced them that Elliott didn't have a big game rushing. Were they doing something differently in this game than the other 5 times you faced them with Elliott?
I mean, sure, they changed it up a little bit. Good. Credit to them. I mean, that's a good team. It's a good team, good coaching staff over there. And as we mentioned earlier, we didn't get the running game going early enough. We had some big plays. He made some big runs, but it wasn't the way we wanted to get going, and we were forced to become one-dimensional.
Was it movement that they were doing up front right before you were snapping the ball that kind of threw things off?
That was a little bit of everything. And we got to go back and look at it film, I guess. Hard for me to say. I mean, I take it back to the defense a lot of times, hand it off and do my job in bootlegging. But credit those guys. They made the plays we didn't.
Dad, what will this season mean if you guys don't make the postseason?
Can't put into words, honestly. As I said, we're going to control what we control now, and that's getting back to it and focusing on next week and making sure we get that win. And at that point, rooting for another team, hoping that we get a chance. That's not any position anybody wants to be on when they're having to depend on someone else. But we put ourselves in this position. It's disappointing and frustrating.
Other times now where you look back at other games that you let slip early that you wouldn't have been in this position?
I mean, that's obvious to do. You go back and do that, you're going to frustrate yourself and piss yourself off more. So I'm not a guy to live in the past, and I won't start now. So as I said, I'll focus on controlling what I can control, helping this team out, and focusing on next week.
What does the playing right home look for you? What's that going to look like? How do you spend it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch the game and sit there and be frustrated probably for 3 hours.
Deep ball to Tavon, is that the one throw you'd like to have back?
For sure, 100%. No doubt about it. There's a couple of throws, as we mentioned, got away from me, but when you look at that one, yeah, I mean, that's a touchdown if I put it on him. Just didn't capitalize, and that's on me.
Why was Amari not on the field a couple of times in the fourth quarter, like on the fourth down play, 2 fourth down plays?
I don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer.
Dak Prescott looking for some answers there, but we have some for you here because it looks like the Packers, they are officially winners of the NFC North. They clinched the title, so they move into the 2 seed there in the NFC. This was a big win for them against the Vikings. So now they have 12 wins on the season. Welcome into NFL Total Access Endgame here, guys. I'm Colleen Wolfe with D. Hall and MJD, and let's go to these highlights. Let's see how it all went down tonight. All right, here we go. The Vikings, Adam Thielen looking very festive.
Very bright. But here comes
I like it.
the Grinch.
But
and his goons.
shined a little brighter tonight.
He did have some goons.
Yeah, he gave away some presents though tonight.
Yes,
First
he
quarter
did.
here.
Yes, he did.
That's my Bruin family right
Fumble.
there.
So Anthony Barr
Look, he's
forces the
celebrating. They
fumble.
still playing. That's what I'm talking about.
Recovered by Eric Kendricks and then returned 24 yards to the Packers' 10.
That's right, Bruin. Talk your talk.
The Vikings kick a field goal, so they lead it 3-0. We go to the second quarter now, tied at 3. And Aaron Rodgers, he is, wait for it, and he's intercepted by Anthony Harris.
So
Return to the Packers 36.
This is the problem. They're getting 3 points off a turnover instead of 7. Allowing the Packers to stay in the game. You got to score touchdowns when you get turnovers.
That's Rodgers' first interception in his last 278 attempts. So it's been a while.
He's
3
human.
plays later, 3rd and 5, and Cousins throws to Stephon Diggs, 21-yard touchdown.
Yeah, you got to capitalize on them turnovers. They were able to do that on this drive, but they didn't do it often.
No.
Secure the
Vikings,
bag, though.
they lead 10-3. Drops it perfectly there to Stephon Diggs. Later in the second here, Packers trailing 10-6, and Aaron Rodgers throws to Devontae Adams there. Harrison
Dropped the
Smith
church's
forces that
money.
fumble.
Oh, no.
So, Eric Kendricks.
The Bruin jumped on it
recovers
again, though.
I know. It's a big night for the Bruins,
Hey, we was
huh?
out there balling on Monday Night Football. That's what we do. We ain't going to ball out all the time.
Good spot, man.
This is
on
the
Monday
Packers'
Night Football.
3rd turnover in the first half.
Yeah.
Yikes,
You know what, though, when it
okay.
happens early, you got enough time to
Get it out of your
recover
system.
from it.
Next
Bruh,
Vikings drive,
put some
Stephon
touch
Diggs
on it.
gets the ball in the reverse.
Throw it to him. You may have to play.
Kirk Cousins tried to get it.
Steph, a little more touch.
Overthrew it a little
more
bit
touch.
there.
Stephon, it's harder than it look, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's a
You
little
gotta
harder
read
than it
coverages
look.
and all
Give
that.
Kurt a little bit of, give him a little break now.
He like, look at Kurt like, bro, I'm wide open, bro. Throw me the ball.
7 seconds left here in the half, and Aaron Rodgers throws to Devontae Adams, and he just can't make the catch.
Yeah. It was too easy at times, and unfortunately they dropped that. But yeah, those receivers had free releases all night long.
So the Packers settle for a field goal there. Third quarter here. Vikings still up 10-9, and Kirk Cousins takes a deep shot for Stephon Diggs, but
You got to see him.
he's picked off
You
here.
got to see the backside corner.
Kevin King there.
And Kurt, I know I taught you better than that. How many times did we drop kick that route in practice on you, man? And
Yeah, come on,
told
you tell him.
And told you the backside corner is going to get it.
That's what Stephon told. He said, bro,
you
Stephon's
can't throw that
telling him.
ball.
8 plays later, 1st and 10, and Aaron Jones runs it in for a 12-yard score. So the Packers, they lead there 17-10. They go on to win it 23-10 here. But let's check out the fourth quarter, see what happened there. Vikings still down 70-10, and Kirk Cousins sacked by Kenny
Bruh.
Clark. That's your man.
you know where school you went to, bro?
Yeah, I know. UCLA.
Hey, we out here shining. You know where to go if you want to get on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Next
I see you,
Packers
Kenny.
possession here, 1st and 10.
Good press. Way to
Aaron
press the
Jones
hole.
takes the handoff, first down the sideline.
Hey, whoever didn't vote this young man to the Pro Bowl, y'all should be ashamed of
crazy.
yourself. Ashamed of yourself.
Who got in?
I don't
Not
know,
him.
but that young man
56-yard
deserves
touchdown
to
there.
be in.
Packers lead it 23-10 after a mixed extra
We
point
didn't have
there.
to do anything, and we still won the game.